George. It's been a minute. Okay, so we're going to talk about a cool grandma coming to her kids' or her grandkids' house.
Hey, mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Check 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 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Check 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 1 2 3 4 5.
Hello, this is Tracey getting ready for After GMS, which is in 2 minutes.
Hello, 1 2 3 4 5, broadcasting from the Weather Garden.
Hey, good morning. It is 7:46 on March 31st. Saying it's the end of the month might be a relief to a lot of people because March was so hectic with all that we had going on, which has led us to this right here, our social distancing rules, following CDC guidelines, remaining 6 feet apart, or if you're Tran and Stacey, working from home.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more apart than this, right? But you know, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing to try to keep everything safe, and we're going to try to keep you informed on the weather as well. So let's get to that really quickly here as we look at radar. We have rain moving on in as we speak. What we're seeing on radar right now over North Carolina, most of that not reaching the ground right now, but we'll see the chance of a few showers this morning before you see that bigger bulk of precipitation of rainfall right there along the I-65 corridor from Birmingham, Alabama up towards Nashville. That will move on in this afternoon on into this evening. So we're going to have kind of a wet afternoon around here, a wet evening, wet night. And then as we go through tomorrow morning, that rain will move out of here. With the rain around, temperatures will stay in the 50s all day long. We'll drop to the 40s tonight, only in the 50s again tomorrow. And then temperatures and the overall weather conditions will improve through the rest of the week into the weekend. Lots of sunshine Thursday and Friday. Temperatures Thursday in the mid 60s. By Friday, we're in the upper 60s to low 70s. We'll see more of the same Saturday before the cloud cover increases again as we go to Sunday. Small chance of a couple of showers Sunday, better chance of a few more showers on Monday.
All right, so guys, you know this. On our Facebook Live show, we like to give you the latest on weather news, and we want to hear your reactions about things that are happening online. So make sure you're weighing in on these things. Stacey, we'll get to one you want to share a little later, but give us a little sneak peek on what you have going on in trending topics.
Okay, so we all love our grandmas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this story involves grandmas and Star Wars, which, I mean, what better combination could you get, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I love it. All right, so we'll get to that story in just a little bit. But first, we want to bring you the latest news on the coronavirus outbreak in North Carolina. Well, Governor Roy Cooper and the COVID-19 task force are expected to speak on the increase of cases across our state this afternoon. Here are the latest numbers. Health officials report more than 1,300 cases. It is an increase, yes, but in perspective, this compares with the more than 20,000 tests that are now complete. Again, 0 deaths in the Triad area, but 6 in the state. We're learning of this newest one just the other day. In Guilford County, there are 44 confirmed COVID-19 cases, 39 cases in Forsyth County. Along with the statewide order at home, Governor Cooper issued an executive order allowing healthcare workers, schools, and local governments to access more equipment. These orders allow them to tap into the state surplus, so items including computers, protective equipment, and other items can now be used. Law enforcement wants to warn you and to take the virus and social distancing restrictions very seriously. Police say pranks about the coronavirus could carry some heavy consequences. We've already seen an Albemarle man arrested for going live on Facebook while in a Walmart saying he had coronavirus. Attorneys say similar incidents could carry jail time. So if you're thinking about pulling a prank for April Fool's Day about the virus, think again.
This is a hot topic right now. So many people are talking about it, and people's sense of awareness is and alertness to this is extremely high. So it could definitely cause panic and cause problems.
If you were in a crowd of people and you said something, that could be considered inciting a riot.
Attorney David Friedman says the weight of the charge depends on the severity of the situation. So as stay-at-home orders are in place, it's important we don't lose sight of why we're doing all of this. We have to remember it spreads very easily. Symptoms don't always show up for several days, and you could have the virus and not even know it. A cough or a sneeze could send it to your neighbor, to a loved one, to a total stranger. And just because you think you're not sick doesn't mean that you can't get someone else sick from it. So it is so important that we practice social distancing and we continue to slow the spread of the virus, because we know that it will save lives in the end, and we really owe it to our communities to follow these orders.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I tell you one thing that scares me, and you need to know what the symptoms are, is that the tree pollen is in the very high category. So I'm already sniffling and sneezing, and every time I do that, I think about that. You know, but obviously I don't have a fever or anything like that. But people just need to be aware of what the symptoms are. And of course, one of the big part of the symptoms is the fever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, I'm thinking of my family, especially my mom having multiple sclerosis, and then my grandmother who's 83 years old. I'm thinking about them. While it might not necessarily have a big impact on me, if I were to come in contact with somebody that is like my mom or my grandmother, it could really be really life-threatening for them. And so we just have to think about others, and that's why we here at WFMY are practicing social distancing. I mean, I do not leave this house unless I'm going to get food and maybe go on a walk, but that's it.
Yeah, and then you have Turan who's staying home and cutting his own hair.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I'm an introvert, so this social distancing thing is pretty easy for me. I've taken it to the extreme. I think I've only made maybe one social phone call since I've been at home for the past week and a half. So I'm trying to keep that streak going if I can. But in all seriousness, though, just, you know, stay at home as much as you can if you can. And a big thank you again to all the people that are going out, that have to go out. You know, we have our sanitation workers that are still the trash cans. Those are unseen, unsung heroes as well. We have all of our medical staff and the folks that have restaurants that are going through a hard time as well, that are still doing what they can to, you know, still make food and make takeout available. And I get on the soapbox every single time. Please support your local restaurants and local small businesses as much as you can. So if you can pay for takeout sometimes, please, please do that.
All right, so I know that sometimes we have to be very serious, but we like to have our fun on the Good Morning Show as well. So, Stacey, you have a story about a grandmother getting a lot of laughs knowingly and willfully while her family is practicing safe distancing.
Yeah, so I mean, I couldn't even imagine, like, if I was younger and wasn't able to see my grandma, or the closest I could see her is through, you know, a door. It'd be really hard because we're really close. And so this family kind of did something fun. This grandma decided she's just going to dress up every day to entertain her grandkids from a distance, of course. So on this particular day, she was Darth Vader from Star Wars. Even had, I'm gonna let you see that video play. She had a lightsaber that she was playing with around, and she's also dressed up in other costumes too. She's been a Ninja Turtle. She's also been Batman, Phantom of the Opera, and on St. Patrick's Day, she dressed up as a leprechaun. And her daughter says that her 5-year-old daughter and 2-month-old twin boys have really enjoyed this, and the grandma has, of course, been happy to see her grandkids. This is totally something my mom, Susan, would do in the future.
I think I'd be scared. She is playing that role to a T, you know, with her movements and the way that she's swinging the sword. She's definitely a fan. She was going all out.
Yeah, grandmothers are having fun with their grandchildren in the wake of this very horrible situation that we're in. And also some things that I have been hearing is that our wonderful senior citizens are really learning a lot about computers so they can communicate with their friends and family by computer.
That's good.
And I think that they are learning, wow, this is some really, really cool technology. Now, my mom, yeah, she's okay on a computer, but usually she's scared to death of a computer. But a lot of people are learning to do their communication on a computer, and I think that's great for our older citizens.
Yeah, absolutely. Taran, you're a fan of Star Wars.
I love Star Wars, and that definitely was an awesome video. Big fan of Star Wars, and big fan of people just, again, making the most out of a situation is certainly not the best for most people. So everybody keep the spirits up. We're going to get through this together, and eventually we'll get to the other side of this.
It's funny, I was looking at some of the comments while you guys were talking about the Star Wars video, and John Henry weighed in about social distancing. He said, I ordered pizza through social distance delivery, put it on the porch, and stood back while I came out to retrieve it. So that's just the way you have to, I mean, because you could literally, in that few seconds where you're exchanging a box of pizza or something like that, you could potentially come in contact with someone who has, but then you think, well, who's making my food? So then that's a whole nother something that you have to think about it. But yeah, something very interesting that everyone's taking different precautions to make sure that they're safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're learning these techniques here. I think that's a classic example there with the pizza. One thing that I'm getting used to when I am out and about, which I'm not out and about anymore, it's work and home and working home and working home back and forth, is I like to shake hands with other men. And, you know, I've been doing the elbow bump, but heck, I'm not even doing that now. I'm not even getting close enough to people other than just to yell, hey, how you doing across the street. out when I'm walking my dog. But we're learning these safety things, and I think we're incorporating them into our daily lives, and it's becoming somewhat normal, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, something that's not normal right now, the fact that high school seniors everywhere might be missing out on their proms or other traditions like high school graduation. Our schools are closed until May 15th. Prom season typically ends May 1st. So what does that mean? Maybe no prom. So I really feel for the high school students who could have their proms canceled this year. I asked you on my Facebook page, do you think schools should still have them, maybe over the summer? Well, let's see what you have to say. Tori says, these are once in a lifetime events that I hate to see miss out on. If the schools don't do anything, we'll figure something out as a family to do to make it special. Deborah says, some high schoolers in my area already have cap and gown. I suggested we have a parade. That way the graduates walk down the street in the development and all the neighbors can applaud and cheer from their front doors. Brenda says, my granddaughter has worked her behind off at UNCG and would have been graduating with honors and was also asked to speak at the separate sociology graduation to see if she was cheated out of all just that. So it breaks my heart. She is the first of 5 children in our family to go to college. She is starting law school at UNC in the fall. After all the money spent at UNCG, I think they could find a way to make graduation happen for them this summer. So I should clarify here, because I was specifically talking about high school prom for kids on my Facebook page, but you make a great point here. Colleges have postponed graduation, so they haven't said that they're not going to have them. So I don't want you to lose hope on that. I was talking about the reality of the fact that kids in high school are out of school until May 15th at least, which means that they have likely missed out on the prom season. My cousin was supposed to go to prom this weekend, and that's now been canceled. So that's the disappointment that I was talking about. What do you guys feel?
Well, I think it's a very special part in a young person's life. I remember my prom in high school, even though it was a long time ago, and also graduating from college. Man, after I got through with all that calculus and math and statistics and physics and chemistry, I was ready to graduate and walk across that stage and get that diploma. So that is a very rewarding feeling and very much an accomplishment. And I just really hate that these young people, after working so hard, are not going to be able to go through that pomp and circumstance, if you will.
Yeah, Taran, it's a special moment for any graduate.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I hope for the high school kids, they are able to maybe have the prom a little bit later on, maybe in the early summer or something like that, because that is a big deal to a lot of kids. I know some kids don't care about prom, but some do. So that would be nice for them. And then as far as college graduation, I'm right there with Ed on that. You know, you work so hard, you really that moment that you've been thinking about for, you know, years to walk across that stage. So, you know, we'll have to kind of just see how things shake out. Hopefully, you know, some of those milestone events can still happen on the high school level and on the college level, but it's one of those things you just have to kind of wait and see how things go.
Yeah, Stacey, we talked about this earlier.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I was, go ahead, please continue.
Oh, I was just thinking about a lot of girls get their dresses so early because they're so excited. I mean, that's exactly what I did. And a lot of girls invest a lot in their prom dresses. So I just hope that they have the chance to wear them. And I really hope that maybe they can plan something this summer. And maybe it's not necessarily like a school related function, but like get their class together, say, hey, let's make a prom happen, since we weren't able to do so before. But I think hopefully schools will be understanding and help them kind of get something put together. I just, you know, my future sister-in-law is a senior in college right now, and she's missing out on those milestone things that happen your senior year, not just with graduation. You have big events and award ceremonies, big functions that you're not going to be able to she's not going to be able to have. And my heart breaks for her and just that class of seniors in both college and high school right now, because That was a fun time in my life, and I know that a lot of them are probably really sad about it.
Absolutely. Some people on my page said that regardless if they don't have prom or not, I'm going to make my child dress up. We're going to do it up big, and we're going to take pictures with your date, and we're going to, you know, make a prom happen regardless, even if you just dance in the living room. We're going to make this happen.
Oh my gosh,
you.
they should send them. They should send them to us so that we can see those pictures and maybe put up a web story or something about it with all the pictures. That'd be really fun.
I'm already on it, Stacey. I love it.
All right. Hey, let's take a look at the forecast before we leave you this morning. Want to look at the radar one more time. A spritz or a sprinkle or maybe an isolated shower this morning, but look at all that soaking rain. Kentucky and Tennessee, northern Alabama, all that tracking our way. Maybe some heavier downpours later today, this afternoon, and into the evening hours. And then by tomorrow, this will be nothing more than drizzle in the morning. Now, as we check our 7-day forecast, and Taran, if you'll hit your space bar there, I left my clicker in the wood shop, and I am so sorry if we don't get the 7-day up there. But I will tell you that by later Wednesday afternoon and on into Thursday, Friday, and the weekend, nothing but dry weather. So we get through the hump with this rain for later this afternoon through tomorrow morning as drizzle. You can see things are going to shape up to be really nice. Mostly sunny, temperatures mid and upper 60s Thursday and Friday. Weekend's looking good, only a small shower chance. I want you to get together with your friends and family this weekend. It should overall be a nice weekend. Get out and get a breath of fresh air and relax and, yeah, have fun.
Yeah, it'll do us all some good to get out, and even if it's near the house, you know, just to enjoy some sunshine. Those rays just add a little bit of a different quality of life. You know what I mean?
Yes, they do.
All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us on After GMS. We'll have more coming up today at noon, and of course, we'll be right back on the Good Morning Show starting at 4:30 tomorrow. Megan Malaris is back tomorrow, guys.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
She is back from maternity leave, so we will welcome her back to the show, and we want you to make sure you're watching starting at 4:30. See you guys later.